Greetings, duelist, and welcome to a deck report. This is week 7 of season 7, and we're back with X-Sabers. This is an updated list to the list I showcased on Monday, and I took it to locals yesterday. It was 5 rounds of Swiss, and I ended up first place. The deck performed beautifully. A lot of theory, a lot of testing, a lot of tweaking was gone with the list. It's very similar to the list I profiled on Monday, but there are some changes and there are some explanations that need to be addressed. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, for the main deck, 3 Dolterion, 3 Conduction Warriors, 2 Sigma Minus, 2 Betas, 1 Illusion, Omega Plus, Sigma Plus, Epsilon, and Researcher. So one thing I did in my list is I put Sigma Minus to 2. The second one came up for me in testing, and in the tournament it also came up. Because when you're doing your Illusion summon back and you're trying to grab follow-up for the following turns, what you end up doing is with the Sigma Plus, you end up reborning Beta, and then with Beta you add the Sigma Minus, and then with those two you just fuse. We are running only 2 fusions, but with magnet bonding, just shuffling one back to summon the other one, it's easy to just cycle back through your fusions and allocate your resources. I don't think I missed any other ratios. I thought about playing another Sigma Plus, but I think these ratios were perfect. The only one change I probably would have made is add a 3rd Beta, because the 3rd Beta did come up for me like once or twice. Besides that, I liked the magnet ratios. I think these magnet ratios are perfectly fine as is. So for the Sabers, we got 3 Bruno, 3 Palina. Let me adjust this correctly. We got 1 Bogart Knight, 1 Ragigura, 1 Garsam, 1 Pashul. You can tell which ones are the bricks. These 4 are the bricks. I only opened them like once or twice. In my first round, I did open Garsam Pashul in 1 game, and I opened Bogart Ragigura 1 game. Outside of that, I never bricked with these for the rest of the games. I did summon Pachul and did use it to synchro summon, and so it did come up for me. Bruno was the MVP. This card was phenomenal. I thought about playing Bruno at 2 copies instead of 3 because I am playing 3 teleports. Don't do that. Play 3 Bruno. I won my 4th and 5th round because of Bruno. My opponents just didn't expect it. This applied a lot of pressure, and there is a card I'm playing in my side deck that just makes Bruno a really strong card when you're going second. Palina didn't do a lot. I only opened Palina once the entire day yesterday. I did summon her off of Saber formation twice. But outside of that, I almost never saw Palina. It was never in my deck. I did see Bruno and teleport enough times, and that was good enough for me. So in the future, I will still play 3 Palina. Palina is still the best normal summon in the deck. Better than the magnet summons. But I really just didn't need a Palina yesterday, which is kind of absurd to say. So that's it for the main monsters. So for non-engine, I did play 3 Fuaros, 3 Ash, one Nibiru. The main deck is 41 cards. Nibiru was the 41st card I put in my deck. And I will say, I do not regret putting the Nibiru at last minute. It did win me my first round versus Mitsurugi. Yes, unironically, this did preview my opponent's board after they went through all their Mitsurugi names. And they got punished for it. This did also win me my second round versus Yummy Fiendsmith. A searchable off of Gallant Granite. Sometimes if you got Fuad, you just make a half board and search this with Gallant Granite if you know the matchup, which just puts your opponent in an awkward position that they have to play around this card. There was one game I ended on SP Gallant, added the Nibiru. My opponent activated something, I SP'd my own Gallant Granite, and then I full lost them. And they were in an awkward position because they already knew I had the Nibiru, so they knew that they couldn't overcommit. But at the same time, the Fualos was applying a lot of pressure, meaning that if they didn't overcommit, like, I was just going to play on their next turn with my engine. That did actually happen in my match versus Yummy, and it worked out. So that's it for monsters. For spells, we got Small World, Saber Combination, Gotham's Second Call, the 3 teleports, and the 3 bondings. I think this is the same as the last list. Nothing changed here. Gotham's Second Call was a little bit underwhelming. So I actually did make a mistake in my last video showing the combos. You cannot search this as of Bruno. I did notice that before playing at locals, so I didn't like cheat anyone out of this card. I only opened this like twice, and one of the games I opened it, I didn't have a way into getting a Saber. So I don't know whether or not this will stay. I did hand rip 4 times yesterday with this deck, and 2 out of the 4 hand rips were involving with this card. But if you want to do the full hand rip combo while surmounting a board with your magnet cards, you really don't need the second call. So this can easily be cut. The main deck is 41, so this can be 40 without the Gotham second call. Everything else was great, including the Saber formation. So that's it for the main. Extra deck. I actually made every single card in my extra deck except for 1 card. I will show you what that card is. And funnily enough, it's not a Saber card. So, Nat Beast, Yunlei, Gothams, other Gothams, and Souza. I kind of want to talk about these real quick. This did win me my first round versus Mitsurugi on game 3. This came up for the same reason Souza came up, and it's because there are times you summon Bruno to grab Saber formation, but you cannot make the regular Gothams or the big Gothams. So I kind of wanted Saber names that I could make in this deck with Bruno involved, and these 2 were some of the easiest one. You can make this with Bruno and Beta, and you can make this with Bruno and a level 7, which there's a ton of them. You have the Conduction Warrior, you have the Plasma Magnum, you have Flux Ocean Field. So in testing, Souza came up, and in yesterday at locals, Souza also came up because my 4th round was against Lunalight. Shoutouts to Jeremy. I did out his Liger with Souza. My Souza went up to 4,900 attack, and I just like crushed his board. He wasn't prepared for it. So yeah, Souza was one of the MVPs yesterday. This unironically won me my match. and this is probably staying in this deck for the foreseeable future. The interruption effect also came up. I did use this effect to tribute itself and pop a card on the board. And this non-target pops, so my opponent had no real way to play around it. Yeah, I actually, funnily enough, regular Gothams was the card I summoned the least out of all of these. I did summon Yunlei twice. I did summon a Turia Beast a certain number of times. And I did hand rip 4 times with this. So I did summon it 5 times, but I did the full hand rip 4 times. One Flux, one Magnum. You only need 1 and 1 if you're playing this build of the deck. You should realistically close out the game before turn 3 in this version. If you're only playing with magnets, it gets a little bit trickier with your resources, but you know, it's not really a big deal. Cross Cheap, IP, SP, Zilthonia, Underworld Goddess. Zilthonia was the only one card I did not make the entire day yesterday. It's not because it's a bad card, it's not because it's just the situation for this card didn't come up. I would still play this in my extra deck because there are some situations like the Luna Light situation where you just need a card to just run over big monsters. I did Goddess with IP twice. That did come up enough times. So yeah, no regrets with my extra deck. Everything, like all the Link monsters, I think they did just fine. Gallant, Baguska, and Typhon. I did summon all 3. I did make Baguska on my last game versus Azamina K9. And it exhausted a lot of resources out of my opponent. Gallant Granite was really good. I only searched Nibbed like once or twice. The card I actually searched the most was Researcher. And it wasn't even because of Researcher extending over my opponent's board. It's because this Researcher was a level 2 tuner to make the Gothams. So yeah, that did come up. And I did summon Typhon like 2 or 3 times. I think this is one of the better decks that can play Typhon, because your entire like main deck can play through your opponent's boards. Alright. Side deck. Triple Perulia, Triple Pancratops, 2 Bell, 2 Drolls, Nib, 3 Dark Ruler No More, and Saber Slash. I did not side Pancratops all day. This card could have been any other card. Every single other card in my side deck I did play. And I did use... I kind of just wanted to play Pancratops because ideally this card is good against Radiant Typhoon and Draco Tail. I did not face any of those decks yesterday. My matchups yesterday was Mitsurugi Fiendsmith, Yummy Fiendsmith, Luna Light, Heroes, and the K9 Azamina deck. Those were my matchups yesterday. Pretty wide variety. Every single deck was different. But yeah, I did not need Pancratops. So, Dark Ruler No More is here for only one reason. If you notice the entire deck, Baguska kind of cooks us. So, I kind of just wanted a Baguska out. Fun fact, I did lose one game to Baguska. It was game 1 against my Luna Light opponent. That's why the Dark Ruler was there. This also was really strong against my Yummy and my K9 opponent. These 5, I don't regret playing these 5. Bell was really, really good in this deck. I'm actually unironically thinking about main decking Bell. for those who don't know, Bell is really strong in this deck because being a level 3 Earth monster does come up. It is the same tuner level as Bruno, so you can make Souza and you can make Yunlei with her. Well, you cannot make Yunlei. The non-tuner has to be an X-Saber, or the tuner has to be an X-Saber. Let me double check to make sure. Yep, non-tuner has to be the Saber. So, heads up on Yunlei. You still can make it if you play like Dark Soul in your deck, but I mostly made it with Garsam and Pashul. But this does make the other Saber synchros. The other reason Ghost Bell is really important in this deck is because of, let me find it, Omega Plus. The interaction between Ghost Bell and Omega Plus came up for me twice. For those who don't know, Omega Plus is like Dracotail Gulamel, where if you activate an Earth Monsters effect, or either player activates an Earth Monsters effect, this can, in the proper chain, because it's a when effect, set a monster. And I did have a situation where I did Omega. My opponent tried to do some. I think it was against my hero opponent. My hero opponent tried to activate favorite contact. I chained Bell, and then I chained Omega Plus to set. So that came up for me. That was a really good interaction. So yeah, Ghost Bell was probably one of the MVPs on my side deck. Droll came up clutch, same as Nib. Pearlia did a lot. My number one MVP, unironically, was Saber Slash. So this is searchable off Bruno, and it's searchable off Gotham's. And this non-target pops your opponent's cards up to the number of Sabers. The reason this was really strong is because there were games where I had the Saber Slash, and I would chain Emergency Teleport to the Saber Slash, and on resolution, it checks the amount of monsters on board, and you would have at least 2 Saber monsters to pop with Saber Slash. I did that play 3 times. My opponents were caught off guard with this, unironically, and I only didn't win 1 match out of this, but the other 2 times I did this combination, I did win the match. Against my Lunalight opponent, I searched this with Bruno, made the Souza, and after I outed the Liger with the Souza, I used the Saber Slash to out the Lunalight Wolf follow-up. So yeah, Saber Slash was really good for me. I might even consider putting this card in the main deck. I'm not sure, because I actually really liked the main deck entirely, the way it was constructed. But yeah, this was the list. Feel free to let me know what you guys think. I actually unironically think X-Sabers are really good, at least this variant of the deck. I think this is a deck that will catch people off guard, and more importantly, this card is just really strong. Like, Evilswarm Ouroboros is in the Forbidden list for a reason. This card is really similar to Ouroboros. This already makes this deck already a scary threat in the format. But yeah, until next time, keep practicing and keep dueling.